President Biden is giving the green light for the U.S. to step up military defense support to Ukraine. Lawmakers say the tanks will help fend off Russian aggression. And slippery roads caused a few accidents this morning. What you need to know if you're headed out today. This is News 3 Now at noon. Good afternoon, I'm Mark Kane. Right now, visibility is low on some highways heading out of Madison, and slippery roads caused some dangerous driving conditions this morning. Here's a live look at the interstate. You can see visibility is still pretty low. A driver was killed following a crash on US 12 outside of Fort Atkinson. Deputies say it happened near County Highway C just before 8 o'clock this morning. The driver was traveling west when they lost control of their vehicle and crossed into the eastbound lanes. An eastbound truck was unable to avoid the vehicle and struck it. The truck driver was uninjured, but the driver of the other vehicle was taken to the hospital where they later died of their injuries. There was another crash in Rock County this morning. It happened in the southbound lanes of I-39 at mile marker 168 near Janesville. You can faintly see a car in the ditch. Traffic was stalled for at least 2 hours while crews cleared the scene. It's unclear if anybody was hurt. Let's head to the Weather Center now. Meteorologist Greg Barnhart has looked at your certified most accurate forecast. A little slippery out there.
Yeah, pretty much. The snow has continued to come down, but the good news is temperatures with around 30. That means main roads pretty much are going to be wet. It's the side roads, shoulders, and mediums that we're going to kind of deal with. We're still rotating snow across this low pressure that's well to the south. We're on the northern edge of it. We also got a little bit of a system up towards Minnesota kind of rotating down too. So those two are combining to give you some light snow. Snow rates aren't that heavy. It's really as you go further south and east towards Milwaukee and into northern Illinois where you have more of that widespread heavy snow rate to really accumulate. As we zoom in, you can kind of see there's some bands out there, but overall it's still fairly light with minor accumulation. Like I said, overall big picture, there's your system to the south and the one to the north kind of digging south, so that's going to provide our snow overnight too and through tomorrow morning. We zoom in, temperatures right now, the good news is they're around just a little below freezing, so any type of salt on the road is going to keep them primarily wet right now, but that kind of will change as we get over to the overnight hours, and then we'll see there. Overall temperatures, there is a cold front to the north that is kind of digging south. That's the one that'll come through. Not much of a cold air behind it for January or early February, but there's your temperatures. That's the good news with the road temperatures that should keep them primarily wet. Once again, parking lots, side roads, that's where probably the accumulation will be. So we'll track that down along with the snow. It should continue overnight. And then the next opportunity looks to be Friday and maybe another one, and then some cold temperatures coming later next week. I'll break all that down a bit later in the broadcast.
Winter is back.
Absolutely.
All right, Greg, thank you. If you are headed out today, be sure to drive carefully and take your time on the roads. Looking at the 511 map, you can see there are some slippery stretches in Madison and outside of the city as well. Stay up to date on the weather in your area on our First Warn Forecast Weather app. It has hourly forecasts, school closings, road conditions, and the latest radar. You can download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC Weather. Breaking this afternoon, police say a 15-year-old Florida boy is suspected of calling in a false active shooter threat at Portage High School earlier this month. Officials say the teen is from Sarasota and is linked to swatting calls in Wisconsin, Washington, North Carolina, Indiana, and Canada. Calls included active shooter threats, bomb threats, even personal death threats. Portage police arrested a 15-year-old girl in connection to the threats, but it's unclear if she's connected to the Florida teen. Right now, police in La Crosse are asking for the public's help in finding a woman who hasn't been seen since last fall. 37-year-old Jennifer Peterson was last heard from in September. Police said she mentioned relocating, but her family is concerned for her safety. Peterson is 5'5", has blue eyes and brown hair that may be dyed blonde. Anyone who sees Peterson or knows of her whereabouts is urged to call the La Crosse Police Department. The number there is on your screen. Vice President Kamala Harris is traveling to California today to meet with the community after a mass shooting at a dance studio that left 11 people dead. Overnight, hundreds gathered at Monterey Park City Hall for a vigil. With some survivors reunited for the first time since the massacre, investigators continue to search for clues as to why the 72-year-old attacker shot up the dance hall he frequented before fleeing the scene and taking his own life. One survivor says he's lucky to be alive after witnessing his friends die in front of him.
Bad memory won't go away. When I close my eyes, the scene keep coming back. Shooting, people running, blooding.
All 11 victims have now been identified. Among the dead are star dancer's beloved manager, Mingma, Diana Tom, a grandmother whose family said loved to dance, and Mei Mei, her loved one, saying her warm smile and kindness was contagious. Well, the White House has announced the U.S. will be sending tanks to Ukraine to help fight Russia. Skylar Henry has the details.
The White House announced President Biden is authorizing the Pentagon to send U.S.-made M1 Abrams tanks to Ukraine.
I would say to the Department of Defense, if you will greenlight a handful of Abrams tanks, it'd be one of the most consequential decisions you've made in this effort to allow Ukraine to expel Russia.
The president's decision is a change in policy for the White House, which had previously said the Abrams tanks were too advanced to be effectively used in Ukraine.
Modern main battle tanks will provide highly maneuverable armored firepower that will help Ukraine liberate territory and keep pressure on the Russian aggressors. But as I've said repeatedly, time is of the essence.
A bipartisan group of senators met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who told them the tanks are essential in defeating a Russian counteroffensive that appears to be in the works.
The offensive that the Russians will bring, they're massing their troops and supplies and reinforcements right now, is so imminent that we need to provide these tanks.
The decision follows intense negotiations last week with NATO allies over the supply of tanks. Germany initially resisted, but will now follow suit and begin shipping Leopard 2 tanks to Ukraine.
I think there's an increasing appreciation in Germany how important their role has become in helping Ukraine.
The move could not only help Ukraine fight off the planned Russian invasion, but is expected to help them launch a counteroffensive of their own to try to drive Russia out of the country. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
President Biden has called Germany's chancellor and leaders of the UK, France, and Italy to coordinate continued support for Ukraine. Sesame Street co-creator Lloyd Morissette has died at the age of 93. Morissette was a psychologist and vice president of the Carnegie Foundation for the Advancement of Teaching. In 1968, he and television producer Joan Gans Cooney created the Children's Television Workshop, now called Sesame Workshop. 1 year later, they hired Jim Henson and his Muppets to bring the show to life. Morissette served as chairman of the board for over 30 years. The organization says, quote, he leaves an outsized and indelible legacy to a generation of children. Wisconsin sports fans will soon be able to bet on games at Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee. It'll be built in the location of the Northern Lights Theater. Construction will begin soon, but the casino announced this week a temporary sports book will be up and running within the next 2 to 3 weeks. It could be open in time for the Super Bowl. A permanent sports book should be finished by the end of the year.
We'd love to, keep the money in Wisconsin, keep generating the tax dollars for the city, and keep this fun and exciting new avenue of gaming to the town and really paying homage to the sports that we see here.
A mobile app is also being developed. In about 4 months, people will be able to bet from their phones while on casino property. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Credit Karma is paying a big fine for misleading customers, and gas prices starting to tick up again. Those stories next in the Money Watch Report.
You're watching News 3 Now at noon. The biggest and best RV event in the Midwest is back. It's the Madison Camper and RV Show and Sale. See a huge selection of RVs, camping equipment, and campgrounds, all under one roof. Meet Gilbert Brown, Gridiron Great. Tickets are just $10 and kids are free. Seniors, you're welcome at half price on Friday. Experience the great outdoors at the Alliant Energy Center, Friday through Sunday, February 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Right now with Papa Murphy's, we've got a great deal.
Which means I make more great pizza.
Like our $9.99 XLNY pizza. It's everything you'd expect from a classic New York-style pizza, hot and fresh out of your oven. Order now at papamurphys.com.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Greenhut, the CEO of Plexiderm. And if you haven't tried Plexiderm, we've created the best offer yet with our New Year's Plexiderm 10-minute challenge. All it takes is 10 minutes to reduce the appearance of under-eye bags, wrinkles, and crow's feet. Even the 11 lines between your eyes are visibly gone in minutes. Plexiderm works so well that celebrities in Hollywood and people just like you feel years younger in minutes. This is why I'm letting people try it for only $14.95 this New Year at plexidermtrial.com.
So I've had under eye bags for a very long time, and it sucks. I have spent so much money on tons of eye creams, eye gels. Finally, I tried something called Plexiderm, and I'm not joking. It works. When I do a collage and everything is done, it looks amazing. That is exactly how Plexiderm makes me feel. I put it on my face, and somehow, some way, I look together, which is amazing. I'm Jackie, and I took the Plexiderm 10-minute challenge, and so should you.
I'm Neela. I'm 61 years old. I'm a professional personal trainer. It's so important to be in good health and to be fit and take care of yourself. How it makes you feel inside is amazing. And yet, when you look in the mirror, what you see necessarily isn't what you feel inside. Plexiderm, seriously, honest to God, it's amazing. There's nothing there, like the bags are gone.
The instant results are from naturally based silicates found in shale rock. Once applied, your skin tightens and firms, rapidly reducing the appearance of under eye bags and wrinkles in minutes. This New Year is the best time to try Plexiderm at our starter price of only $14.95. So if under eye bags make you look tired or feel older, take action this New Year and see that younger looking you. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
The Federal Trade Commission has ordered Credit Karma to pay $3 million for misleading customers. The agency alleges the personal finance company used so-called pre-approvals to deceive consumers into applying for credit cards and products they were not eligible for. The FTC says that wasted consumers' time and could have negatively impacted their credit scores, but in a strongly worded statement, Credit Karma pushed back, insisting it fundamentally disagrees with the FTC's allegations, calling them baseless. The Department of Justice in 8 states sued Google on Tuesday, claiming the internet giant has an illegal monopoly over online ads. In a court filing, the federal government alleges Google uses its dominance to funnel customers to its own ad technology and that it comes at the expense of other advertisers and publishers. In a statement, Google accused the DOJ of trying to pick winners and losers in the highly competitive advertising technology sector and called its argument flawed. And the price at the pump is starting to tick up again. AAA says it's due to higher demand based on milder temperatures and a rise in the cost of oil per barrel. Monday, average prices for a gallon of gas were up 12 cents compared to last week. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Chanel Call.
Let's check Wall Street at the noon hour. The Dow Industrial is down 184 points. The NASDAQ off 134. The S&P 500 down 31. Our call for action volunteers are in the building taking your consumer complaints and taking action on your behalf. You're taking a live look at the Call for Action studio. Volunteers are here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so you can call right now for action, 608-270-2833, or submit a claim anytime at channel3000.com/call for action. Pam has today's egg prices next, along with Greg's first warn forecast. And then today on Live at 4, we'll preview the Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra's performance of Vivaldi's iconic Four Seasons. That's coming up at 4.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is coming this weekend only at the arena at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison. Rows and rows of spas, hot tubs, and swim spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% on all in-stock models. This weekend only at the arena at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison.
Cold winter weather's here, so why feel it inside your own home and in your wallet? USA Insulation's premium injection foam fills every crevice of your walls. even going over your existing inferior insulation. Our foam gives you high-tech comfort and saves you money on utility bills year-round. So stop bundling up and start building savings. Call now and get up to a 30% tax credit and low monthly payments.
USA Insulation. Wisconsin. It's easy to take for granted how we warm up. But what if you couldn't warm up so easily? For many, it's a reality they can't ignore. Working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans struggling to keep their heat and power on in the dangerous cold of winter. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safe in your home. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
There's nothing better than a great night's sleep on a new Beauty Rest mattress from Steinhafels. Right now, Queen Beauty Rest mattresses start at just $4.99. Upgrade to a Beauty Rest Black and get your choice of an Apple Watch or Apple AirPods. You'll only pay $49 per month when you use Steinhafels 72-month financing. So save big and rest easy on your new Beauty Rest mattress from Steinhafels. Shop in-store or online today at steinhafels.com.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is coming this weekend only at the arena at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison. Rows and rows of spas, hot tubs, and swim spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% on all in-stock models. This weekend only at the arena at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison.
My girl Lala and I have so much in common. Is your son as protective about you as mine is over me? He'd be like, Mom, let me see your phone real quick. For what? And please welcome Bashir Salahuddin.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3.
A local organization is bringing critical support to kids and teens impacted by cancer. Tomorrow, I'll tell you about 2 new programs launching next month in the 608.
And some of the coldest weather on the way this weekend into next week. An update between 4:30 and 7 tomorrow.
The Farm Report is sponsored by Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Let's check in now with Pam Yankee from the Midwest Farm Report. Hi, Pam.
Boy, we had a fantastic turnout yesterday down on campus, UW Ag Outlook Forum. Great turnout, very diverse audience. Really happy to get a chance to physically meet Chancellor Jennifer Mnuchin. She stopped by. We thought she was only going to have a couple minutes, but she spent like 20 minutes visiting with the group, talking about where she sees Wisconsin agriculture going, thanks in large part, obviously, to partnerships on campus. She also talked about how much fun she's having learning about Wisconsin agriculture. She said, you know, I don't come from an agriculture background, but she said she's been having a lot of fun traveling across the state, taking a look at all the different commodities that we grow, visiting all of the land-grant campuses that work together, River Falls, Platteville, and, of course, Madison, and, of course, sampling Wisconsin cheese. So very glad that she stopped by. It was a really worthwhile conversation. A lot of different angles on what production agriculture, Wisconsin agriculture, is going to be tasked with in the future when it comes to climate change. How are we going to manage our animals? How are we going to continue to manage our soils? And maybe one of the most important conversations I still think that we have to get our arms around, monetizing all the efforts that everybody's asking of farmers. What are you going to do to try to help them offset losses as they transition some of these systems? So just the beginning of the conversation. But I do want to tell you, next week, Tuesday, the 31st, Professional Dairy Producers of Wisconsin is holding a carbon conference to focus on some of the very same topics. That's going to be next Tuesday, the 31st, at the Sheraton Hotel, 9:30 until 4. Not a good day for my dairy producers. Barrel cheese today dropped 9 1/4 cents, 157 1/4. 40-pound block cheese down 7 at 191 3/4. Double A butter unchanged, 226 3/4. And actually, Mark, that was one of the themes yesterday. Dairy is going to come down from some of the highs that we saw in 2022, and I just delivered some of that news via numbers.
What goes up?
Especially in dairy.
All right. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow. More snow expected throughout the afternoon. Here's Greg with our first warn forecast.
Yeah, we're going to have snow really continue on through the afternoon and evening, but we got several chances and several things that are going on this week until next week. One thing we're going to notice is the temperatures. We've had a very mild January. It's going to continue probably for a little bit, few more days, but below normal temperatures, which are meaning in the 20s to teens by weekend. And then we have a chance for some bitterly cold temperatures next week, along with some cold wind chills. A lot of that depends on cloud cover, but definitely the trend is going to be different than what we had for January. Snow chances, we got a couple opportunities Friday, Saturday through Saturday night, and Monday through Tuesday. That looks at the best opportunity. Other days we could still see snow. I think accumulating snow potential Saturday night, I think, is the best chance. And once again, none of this is significant accumulation, but I think by the time we get to next week, we might have 3 to 5 inches or so good snowpack on the ground. Right now, this system beginning to lift north. We're kind of on the back side of it, north side. There's another little bit of low pressure coming down from the northwest. That's also providing some snow, so that is the main focus right now for us for the snow activity, but we'll see that eventually here lift. If you look at the big picture, we'll see the snow showers kind of taper off tonight. We'll see them continue on and off probably tomorrow, but less of them overall. Northwest winds, not much change in temperatures. Here's our next cold front. You can see it sweeping south from the plain states. That's going to come through maybe by Friday morning commute is when we could see snow from that, so something to keep in mind of for that time frame. Not a lot of snow. It's going to swing through here with wind and some colder temperatures behind it. That'll be the first taste of some colder temperatures by the weekend, but that's not the real cold stuff yet coming. If we zoom in, you can see these bands of light snow. Flurries continue all the way through this evening hour. Notice the temperature still right around freezing. You'll see that kind of become more scattered in nature overnight, and then the thing to watch for is the temperatures, especially the road temperatures we go through overnight to see how far they will drop below freezing. Once you get that, you could have some slick spots as you come more tomorrow morning's commute. Something to keep in mind of. You see we're 29 there, 28 degrees. That could get some refreezing of the moisture on roads, so something to keep in mind of, especially the side roads and less traveled roads that are out there. Snowfall amounts not much, maybe about 1 inch to 2 total as you get towards to Rock County and further south. Otherwise, generally a ½ inch or 1 inch at the most. And once again, main roads right now won't be an issue. It's really the side roads, shoulders, and parking lots where you may get that ½ inch to 1 inch accumulation of snow. Nothing really huge. Then we're going to be tracking, once I said, there's your Friday cold front. Then we have opportunities. This front's going to kind of sag south, this Arctic air, and we're going to see a little bit of waves come across it. There's your second one coming Saturday night. That looks like a decent shot for some accumulating snow. Not a lot, but still, timing of that could be something to keep in mind of. Then we're going to see more of this waves coming, but then the cold temperatures are really going to start coming through once we get past the weekend. And you can notice that on the 10-day right now. Temperature-wise, we'll get to the teens, so definitely colder come Saturday and Sunday, but notice how far they drop beyond that. We could see sub-zero lows. Wind chills could be a factor as we get into next week. And, of course, that more important day comes of all the world here with the Groundhog Day coming towards Thursday. Maybe you'll see a shadow, but it's still going to be cold for February. But it's kind of back to what we should be in the wintertime. Our warm January is over.
Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Greg. Getting fit is the most popular New Year's resolution of them all, but it's also a chance to see how fitness trends are changing. Bradley Blackburn reports.
Like many Americans, Vanessa Hittery bought high-tech home gym equipment during the pandemic. But now you'll find her here.
A little lower.
Lifting and training at X93 Fitness in New York with one-on-one coaching in person.
It's more motivating than doing it at home. You see other people doing it. You have someone pushing you.
She's not alone. A new survey from the American College of Sports Medicine tracks changes in fitness trends. Strength training with free weights, personal training, and functional fitness are all in the top 10 for 2023. Online training plummeted after topping the list in 2021.
What we're seeing is an extraordinary number of people returning to the gym, much higher than what was expected in any other year that wasn't influenced by the pandemic. So we're starting to see people shift and going back to kind of like group exercise where they're having that kind of face-to-face interaction.
Why change something that don't need fixing?
Trainer Chris Fernandez says he's been flooded with calls from people who want his back-to-basics approach.
We're going to kick it back.
He uses strength training that studies show can not only build muscle, but boost long-term health.
Free weights is one of the best ways to lose weight as well as get toned up and build muscle definition.
One piece of tech is expected to stick around. Wearable fitness trackers are the survey's #1 trend for 2023. But the results only come with hard work.
Now I'm doing things I thought I would never do.
Ready for more change in the new year?
Your heels stay on the floor.
With old school fitness. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Perfect.
And according to the survey, another big trend for 2023 is outdoor group fitness, like organized bicycle rides, hikes, or walks. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. We'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
A buffalo wing craze continues with a new go-along that your gang will absolutely love. Really, no bones about it.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
I want to ride this pony, but I suffer from low E.
Millions of people are suffering from low energy, commonly known as low E.
With my low E, I can never finish this trending dance.
Low E has hurt my performance in the bedroom. I haven't been able to make the bed in years. Now there's hope.
Planet Fitness replaces low E with Big E, which keeps you energized and glowing all day. Simply join through the free PF app. $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends January 31st. That's my boy.
Do you have a coffee smile? Drinking coffee causes yellow teeth for thousands of people just like you. And whitening toothpaste just doesn't make those stains go away. Introducing Power Swabs, the first teeth whitening system that lifts coffee stains off your teeth in less than 5 minutes without whitening strips or trays.
The Power Swabs were so easy to use. I don't have to have strips sitting on my face for an hour. I don't have to have a foam tray where I feel like I'm going to gag or I'm going to go play football. I've tried like every over-the-counter whitening because, you know, I'm one of those people that's like obsessed with white teeth.
So with the strips I've used in the past, most of them are like you got to leave it on for 30 minutes and the whole experience is just not comfortable. But with Power Swabs, I just snapped it open and rubbed it on and it was good to go.
This didn't sting, it didn't burn, it didn't have an aftertaste. It was just a swab and I just got to rub it on my teeth, and that was it.
The Secret is a tooth detergent and whitening agent developed by Dr. Martin Ginniker that lifts stains off of your teeth. Power Swabs remove stains on natural teeth, veneers, bonding, caps, and crowns. The best part is you just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and you'll have whiter teeth. No more sitting at home with a whitening strip or tray in your mouth for 30 minutes twice a day.
When I used these whitening strips, I noticed when I would drink, I would get this crazy sensitivity. It would go right to my brain, and I'm like, I hate this. So why do I have to go through the monstrosity of this pain just because I want to whiten my teeth? With Power Swabs, there was zero sensitivity.
Within the first day with the Power Swab, I noticed there was a difference. I really love the fact that you're able to go individually on each tooth and make sure that it's going to be wider.
Call for your 5-minute solution to whiter teeth. Whiten your teeth this new year by ordering Power Swabs and receive up to 50% off the regular price. Yes, 50% off the regular price. Shipping is free, plus you'll receive a free quick stick pen. Visit powerswabs.com or call the number on your screen.
A few months ago, I was having lunch at the original birthplace of buffalo wings, the Anchor Bar in Buffalo. While I was eating, I was thinking not only how popular these spicy wings are, but how much we love anything cooked with the taste of buffalo wings. Everything from soups to dips, even side dishes. To make this one, all we do is toss a head of cauliflower that we cut into florets with some oil and a little salt and pepper. Once that's mixed, onto a baking sheet it goes, and we'll bake it off until the edges start to get crispy. Don't be afraid to let them sort of caramelize, because that's what gives these a ton of flavor. While that cooks, we'll whip up a sauce to coat these with, which is the same sauce that Teresa and Frank whipped up in their Anchor Bar kitchen some years ago. Once the cauliflower is done, all we do is toss it with the buffalo sauce. Then onto a platter they go, topped with some crumbled blue cheese, and we have the taste of buffalo wings in a side dish that is second to none. You gotta go online and get the recipe for what we call buffalo cauliflower, so you can be armed with a new go-along that your gang will go along with. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we're looking for a classic way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Here's Greg now. One final check of the forecast. I think I'll stick to chicken.
Will you? Well, you're going to stick to the snow here this afternoon, this evening. But the good news, it's not going to be a real heavy accumulation. So we're going to see that continue. Overnight wet roads, might have slushy slide roads. And then we could have even some slick spots refreezing overnight, something to keep in mind of. But I think for the most part, the snow is going to be over with. And that's really the three things to know is we'll see more snow tomorrow, slick spots tomorrow. And then otherwise, it's going to get cold next week.
All right. Thank you, Greg. Thanks for watching, everybody. That's our time for now. We'll see you back here at 4 o'clock. In the meantime, have a safe afternoon.